Promote professionalism and entrepreneurship.
We wanted to develop a strong pipeline because obviously once you graduate, we want to ensure and hopefully that you become a NSBE professional.
NSBE is here to support the vision to strengthen the pipeline and its ability to succeed professionally and positively impact the community. Yeah.
So next, I have the pleasure of presenting our keynote speaker, Brian Thomas.
All right, guys, good morning. I need you guys to do me a small favor today. Just relax right now. I'm talking about just take a deep breath. Who needs a deep breath right now? Yeah, just relax, just relax. You're a STEM student. Listen, I told, I was in, what was it, Indiana, and I told them, I said, like, a STEM student is like the walking dead. You know, you know who is in science, technology, engineering, math on a college campus, because they walk around like zombies sometimes. And so the reason I'm saying that is, listen, this is hard. It ain't easy. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that and how to overcome it. But I want you right now to just take a deep breath and relax, and let's enjoy this ride today. So when we get started with this thing, where is it? Let's see if this thing will play for us. Hey, 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 hey. Come on, you wasn't expecting this at 9 o'clock in the morning. Come on. Come on. I saw y'all chanting this morning. Give me something. Come on, stand up. Let's go. Hey, 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 hey. Come on. Hey. Hey. Come on. You get the bag and fumble it, I get the bag and flip it and tumble it. Hey, listen. Hey. The Migos say you get the bag and fumble it, I get the bag and flip it and tumble it. I'm gonna tell you how this really goes. Some people get the opportunity and they fumble it. Some people gonna get the opportunity and you gonna flip it and tumble it. Listen, y'all think this is a joke, right? Some people don't have a house to live in, right? Some people are out in the streets. Some people come from countries where having a roof over your head is a luxury item, right? I'm from right here in Dallas, Texas. I'm from South Dallas. For those that are in Dallas, how many of you hang out in South Dallas? Not many. Right? And I love where I'm from. I'm not embarrassed where I'm from, but I know a whole lot of people only coming where I grew up for the State Fair of Texas. And that's real talk, right? We drove down the street. I stayed at my mom's house last night, and it just reminds me of, like, man, what the struggle was. But then I looked at this picture, right? This is the house I was born in. And I look at the bars on those windows, and I said, wow, somebody didn't have an opportunity to even have a roof over their head. So while some people may look at that and be like, oh man, you grew up all rough and tough. Well, no. I had an opportunity to have some love in my house. I had an opportunity to have a roof over my head. And all I did was I flipped it and tumbled it, right? And what I'm gonna talk to you guys today about is the way in which you can take that opportunity, right? No matter how big or small the opportunity is, to take that opportunity and to flip it and fumble it, no. To take that opportunity to flip it and tumble it means sacrifice, right? Somebody in this room today decided to show up, right? You guys decided to show up. That right there was the beginning of the sacrifice. Because I'm telling you guys, there's a lot of students. There's a lot of students right now that are probably sleeping in their dorm rooms, right? That true? They chilling out on campus. oh man, I don't want to go to no conference. They're going to make you wear a suit and tie. They're going to make you dress up. I ain't really about that life. I'm telling you, I was just like y'all. And I was so like, listen, I was worse than y'all. See, you see me now as Brian Thomas. People call me the professional development trailblazer and all that stuff because I blaze the trails for the next generation. But listen, the way it was when I was in college, and I told this story, I think I told y'all this a couple years ago about me going to that first career fair in college. I had, back then, this is a true story, y'all, because I want to keep it real with y'all. So I was making good grades in college. I was always made good grades. But I had this career fair, right? And I go in, and I got on some Timberlands, gray. Some blue jeans, crease down. I'm from Texas. Make them blue jeans stand up, right? Listen, that's just keeping it real with y'all. I got on a silver, Charles Woodson, Oakland Raiders jersey. Charles Woodson, right? He played with the Raiders back then. I had on my silver chain, and I had on probably about 4 rings at that time. I always keep my rings. There's Dallas, Texas on my right hand, and my wedding over here. But at that time, I wasn't married, and I don't know what I was doing. And I walked in that career fair, true story, I walked in a career fair with that outfit on. So an event like this, I come in with that outfit, with a resume, and just showed out. Told the recruiter where I needed the job and all this. He went to my professor, told my professor, hey, listen, you got a kid acting up. I didn't know they was frat brothers. The next day, I'm in class, I'm in electronic fundamentals, true story, named Dr. Colin, Charles Colin. He pulls me to the front of the class. And he says, listen, y'all, this is one of the smartest young men I've ever seen. He makes all A's in this class, and he ain't even got a textbook. And that's a true story, because I used my money on that jersey, right? I'm serious. I used to borrow my friend's book for a little study time, but I had a good memory, so I just used to remember all that stuff. But I had to get that jersey. So he's like, listen, but he ain't going to be nothing in life because of his attitude. And I was like, wow. See, what I didn't understand was that there was going to have to be some sacrifice, right? I'm making these good grades, but then I also got to learn how to get some colloquial skills. I also got to learn how to not be at the party and be at the conference, right? I had to understand that this attitude had to switch over, and there was going to be some serious sacrifice. So it started making me think, like, man, what did I do when I was growing up? Well, I was the nerd athlete, right? I went to school, right? I'm working at Williams Chicken. Anybody know Williams Chicken? Yeah, come on now. 2-piece and a biscuit, right? It used to be like $1.19 for your 2-piece fry, like $1.29. I don't know how much they're charging these days. But I used to work. This is a true story, man. And my mama's right here, and I ain't gonna cry up here today because I had holes in my shoes in high school, right? And I'm in South Dallas, so people tease you, right? These are Bloods, Crips, all that type of stuff. People gonna tease you, right? Somebody might take your life. I couldn't wear blue or red at school. We were not allowed to do that, right? And I'm in here with holes in my shoes, going to class, and I would carry my backpack down. So when I'm walking between classes, nobody could see my shoes. When I got to class, I put the backpack over my shoe so I could just focus on my schoolwork. Now, my mom ended up finding out about this, that I had holes in my shoes, and she was like, why ain't you ask me? I said, I know you ain't got it. So now I go to school every day. This is what I did in high school. I went to school, I went to baseball practice, I got out of baseball practice, I went to work at Williams Chicken at 1 o'clock in the morning. My mom called her, she come pick me up about 1:15, 1:30. I'm back in the house at about 1:45, I gotta get my homework done, maybe sleep by 3, get back up and do it again. There was plenty of weeks I worked 40 hours while I was in high school. Now I'm not saying that's what you gotta do, but what I'm saying is there's a certain level of sacrifice that you're gonna have to make in order to achieve greatness, right? We ain't here for fun, right? We're here to achieve greatness. So I wanna show y'all something here real quick. So I just want somebody just real quickly, read the bottom of that, what's in bold. Say it out loud. Oh no, do the same thing at the bottom again. Okay. Come on, do it again. Y'all liking what you're reading so far? Oh yeah, we like that. Come on now, let's mess up some commas here. You liking that, huh? So let me tell you something about what y'all just read. What y'all think that's about? What do you think that's about? Job offers, huh? Those are job offers I've never even responded to. See, there's a point in your life when you stop chasing your dreams and your dreams start chasing you. Right? See, this is what I'm trying to tell you guys. Listen, I don't even open those. That's something I give to somebody else. I don't need that. I'm not saying that because I'm somebody rich. What I'm saying is I got what I got. Now I'm here to help somebody else. It's the sacrifices you're willing to make till you get to a point where you receive messages like that and you don't even have to respond to them. Right? Everything you're doing right now is about chasing something. But the thing about NSBE students, what's beautiful about you guys, is that all of you are going to graduate.
Yep.
Right? Come on now.
May 2019.
All of you going to graduate. All of you going to get a decent job. The average starting salary for a STEM student is $63,500. Right? I think that's like the average, maybe $63,500. I think the average for a regular college student right now is $55,000, $53,000, somewhere in there. So why I'm telling you that is you need to make sure you get your money right. Right? Don't be graduating out here and taking lowball offers. Right? You're not putting this work in to be getting lowballed. I talked to some professionals a couple weeks ago, and they were like, oh, I said, what you making? I said, you making $47,000 right now, ain't you? He's like, how you know that? I said, because you're in Memphis, Tennessee. I said, and I hear it in your voice that you ain't got that dog in you. He's like, what you mean, B? I said, listen, you happy to have a job. You was just happy. You get an engineer. I made my mama proud. Everybody threw me a party when I graduated. They made me the offer. I didn't know what to do. I accepted it. And I said, you in the South. So in the South, they're going to pay you less money. They have to pay you more up north because of the cost of living. Maybe Cali got to pay a little bit more, right? Your starting salary might be 70, 75 in Cali, right? So I understand it. That's study. This is how I live. This is how I teach. So I'm like, I know this. And he's like, so what should I have done? I said, you should have negotiated at minimum $55,000 if that's what regular students are getting. But you're a STEM student. You're an engineer. Get what you've earned. Now, if you ain't got the GPA, you lose that opportunity. You don't have the internship, you lose that opportunity. But if you have done what you're supposed to do, now here comes sacrifice again. I gave my mom, Walmart made me a job offer. They said you can be an industrial engineer over 2 facilities, right? I'm a junior in college. They said, hey, can you graduate early? I said, no. They said, well, we'll make this offer to you a year before you graduate. I said, wow, okay. So they made me an offer, $47,000. I gave that to my mama for her Christmas gift. I said, your baby made it. Here we go. And I said, I'm not going here, though. I just want you to know, like, here's your gift, but here's the sacrifice, because I know the work that I put in at that time. Now, what we say, some people get the bag and fumble it. I took my $55,000 a year next year with Kellogg, and over the last 12 years, I tumbled that bad boy. I'm serious, man. And listen, I told him earlier, I'm a regular dude. My wife is a regular young lady. My wife is NSBE through and through. She hardcore. NSBE executive board, everything. We just regular people, right? You don't see us on social media with 1 million followers. This ain't what you see, right? And we're going to be millionaires. That's it. That's just the way it's going to be, right? I showed you the image of where I came from. I'm willing to make the sacrifices to get there, right? And I'm also willing to come back and give you love and teach you so you can get there, right? You want to be a millionaire, right? We need 50 grand, right? Say 50 grand. Say I save 50 grand a year.
50 grand a year.
What's that? 20 years? So you graduated 22, you 42, you got 50 grand a year, you're a millionaire at 42, right? And then there's somebody on the internet gonna be like, oh man, you working for somebody, you working for the man, you gotta be an entrepreneur, you gotta do this, man, right? Okay, cool. You go do you, and I'm gonna do me. What if I do both? I'm an engineer, I can do both, right? We can go work, and then we can go put in some entrepreneurship endeavors too, because we're brilliant people. So don't limit me. Don't give me your limitations on what we can do, right? Because you don't know the sacrifices I made to get this electrical engineering degree, right? I was willing to study at night. I was willing to study in the morning. Listen, there's some people in this room, let's keep it real. right? Y'all looking at me saying, all right, he an all right speaker. It's cool. I'm happy to be here. Everybody dressed up. He look good. She look good. This is all right, man. But man, I might need to be studying for that test next week. Like, who keep it real? Like, you here, but you really like, I might need to be studying right now, right? It's all this gonna catch up to me come Monday morning, right? Sunday, when y'all heading home Sunday afternoon, you're gonna be like, oh, I love y'all, miss you. Oh man, I can't wait to see you at the national convention. And you're gonna get up in that bus and get on that car. In that car, you're gonna be like, man, listen, whew. I got a test tomorrow. And it's gonna get real, right? But you were still willing to make the sacrifice to be here today, right? There's gonna be some students that's chilling today, partying this weekend. They're gonna have the same moment on Sunday that you have, but because of what you committed to this weekend, to get this information, to have career fairs, to have conferences, right? Because you got this information, when you get home, you're gonna take it to another level. You know that it's game time. It's time to tumble this bad boy, right? Because the opportunity is not gonna last forever, right? I love poetry, right? I don't want to say I like rap, but I love poetry because I'm a poet, and right? And Eminem, I'm in Detroit, and he said, you only get one shot. Don't not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime, right? The palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. His vomit on his sweater already, mom's spaghetti. But on the surface, he looked calm and ready to drop bombs. But he keeps on forgetting what he wrote down. Hold on, slow down now. But what I'm saying is listen, this is real. That dude at that time, because look, I live like 19 mile, right? I'm outside of Detroit. I'm on like 19 mile. 8 mile, right, is where Detroit, where it starts to get popping, right? And there's other places that's even more challenging. But he knew in his environment that he might get one opportunity. And he took advantage of it, and look what he does now. As a STEM student, you guys got I saw the conference, the regional leadership conference. I'm so embarrassed because when I was in college, I didn't go to a single regional leadership conference. I don't even know if they had them. I didn't go to a single fall regional conference. I went to a couple NSBE conferences eventually once I got my act right, but I just look back and like, man, what start could I have had? Right? I graduated #1 in my university, right? I walked the students in during the graduation as I don't even know what you call that. They gave me like this pen or something for having the highest GPA in the whole college. And I didn't even do internships at first, right? I'm in class, I see him right there, O.C. Duffy. That's my professor. All those years ago, 15 years ago, I sat in his class and went to sleep. And right, we laughing. But I was on a path to destruction, right? But then I'll wake up and take the test and make an A. But it wasn't about the grade. It was about the attitude, right? It was about the attitude because I had the ability to study. I had the ability to make the grade. I had the ability to focus. I would read the books, right? I didn't buy the books, but I would read the books. I had to buy them jerseys and them gold chains. But I didn't have the ability to have the right attitude and understand what real sacrifice and understand that there was a professor who owns his own business but came back to the university to teach us. And I wasn't appreciating what he was doing for me. Even when I had a co-op and I'm in Searcy, Arkansas in an internship, he would meet me 45 minutes away from the university to help me study for his class. I didn't understand what sacrifices our professors and what those that came before us was making, right, with this little nasty attitude. But because of their sacrifice, and I finally got my stuff right, I said, I understand what sacrifice really means. And now I'm able to stand in front of you today, right? It was just a robotics competition for me in high school with NSBE. That saved my life. They let me build robots. And I was like, wow, you can be an engineer? And this guy, he was black. And he came to the school. He says, I'm an engineer at Raytheon. I was like, what? He's like, I get paid, what? I'm over here making $5.15. Listen, this is how it really went. Made $5.15 flipping that chicken. Manager pulled me in the office and he says, hey, Brian, I got a great opportunity for you. I'm like, what? Here we go. He's like, I'm gonna give you a 10-cent raise. That's a true story. That's like really happened. And guess what? At that time, I was so happy. I was so happy for that 10 cents. But then about 5 years ago, that 10-cent raise went to me having no bonus package to going from $86,000 to $110,000 with a 15 to 20% bonus package in one day. Right? Because I was willing to make the sacrifices. I was willing to do what was necessary. I was willing to be geographically flexible, right? We talk about some of these small towns. I don't want to live in this small town. Please, I'll go anywhere. Y'all paying, and guess what? The cost of living low, so I'm stacking paper. So when I come home, I can do things for my community. I don't have to ask you for nothing. I can do for you. Don't take from your community, give to your community, right? But you have to be willing to make certain sacrifices. Right? And I took that on to my career, and I'm telling you guys, it's not easy in these careers. These professionals, we come up here, we look good, we talk that talk, we make a little money, but it's hard. I've cried at work. I cry at work, man. This stuff hard. There's times I had to tell my mama, what do I do? She say, don't you quit. I represent my family. I'm representing South Dallas. The hood come with me. When I'm in Italy, when I'm in Shanghai, when I'm in Paris, France, when I'm doing business globally across this world, I got South Dallas right here. Dallas, Texas come with me. And this thing broke. My emerald gone. But that's an indication. That's an indication of how I keep it real. The emerald gone, but guess what? In the hood, things are a little gritty. Things ain't perfect. On your path to greatness in your career as an engineer, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be perfect. So every time I look at this, I'm like, yep, it's broke. But man, look at that Lincoln Tiger in there. That Tiger's still in there. And he's still ready to go to battle. So when I'm in my office at work crying like I did last week, listen, this last week, this is last week, but when I got a sign on my board that say, not only do I want 6 figures in my salary, but I want 6 figures in my bank account. That's real talk. But then I took it to another level with my family this year. I said, I don't want 6 figures in the salary. We don't want 6 figures in the bank account. We want 6 figures in a account. In just one of them. So now my family goal is over the next few years, how many accounts have 6 figures? So then I can sacrifice, so I can afford to get on a flight. I can afford a hotel to come here and give you this information. I'm not trying to live lavish and brag. What I'm saying is I'm willing to make the sacrifice so I can do things to change the next generation. That's why I wear a blazer. Because once I found out what a blazer was in corporate America, I'm 26 and I didn't know what this was. Right? I'm from Dallas. I'm from Texas. I know what a Stacey Adams suit is. Right? We matching top to bottom. But when I got 26 and they said, hey, Brian, you really doing well. We want to bring you up to the corporate headquarters. But when we have your interview, we're going to take you to dinner that night. We need you to dress business casual. I heard the young man, professional development young man, professionals guy, he said that they're going to do a workshop on attire. And I was like, okay, because that's important. I need y'all to go there. After you hear this story, you're going to need to go there. So I was like, wow, okay, I'll be there. Right? I'm like, ooh, got this interview. Woo. So I walked out. I'm like, shoot, what I gotta wear? What's that? What's business casual? So I go to my boss. I was like, hey, I got this interview. He's like, good. I said, hey, they told me be business casual afterwards for the dinner. He's like, okay. And I was like, but what is that? He's like, oh, just like, man, get you some khakis, a blazer, maybe a polo shirt. And I was like, okay. I said, where you get that from? J.C. Penney's, something like that. He said, get you a blue and a gold button blazer with some khakis and a polo shirt, you good. So I went there, got that stuff, dressed up, went to that interview, got that job, man. And this is what's crazy. Once I got that job, you could not tell me that I didn't get that job because I had that blazer on. And from then on, I've been blazed up. Listen, and that's why I say every time you see me, you're gonna see me wearing a blazer because I blaze the trails. Because at some point I was ignorant, but I got some information and I took it to another level. There's somebody in this room today, you had a little bit of ignorance of something. That means you just didn't know. But now you're gonna get the inspiration, the motivation, and in the workshops, they're gonna give you the education. Then the question is, who's gonna take that and tumble it? Right? So, as I leave you guys today, I challenge you to not just come to this conference, look real cute, try to get somebody's phone number, right? I challenge you not to be like that, right? Do that in your free time. But this is game time right now. The game has started. From this moment on, everybody you see is an opportunity to make a first impression. Every workshop you go to is a chance to get some information that could change your life. That career fair, I don't care if they tell you no. You just keep listening and maybe take some feedback, and maybe next year they'll tell you yes. But this is a business trip. And so I challenge you over the next few days to give it your best. Have your fun at night, but during the day, you give it your best, right? Because the sacrifices that you're willing to make today is gonna take you to a whole new level in life, man. I love you guys. I'm willing to do anything for you. You guys stay in contact with me. Download, that's my fast track to 6 figures for millennials. That's a free download that'll come through to you. Stay in contact with me if you guys would like. I want to support you in any way, but then I'm going to send you all guys off with this, and let's get this conference rocking. All right? I need y'all to listen to this poem, and I'm telling you, when you leave out of here, if knowing that a guy like this who grew up about 15 miles from here, right, who told that woman right there when I was 21, my mama dropped me off at that first internship, and all she had was $20. And I said, Mama, I'll take it. She said, I need the rest to get back to Texas for gas. And I took that $20 and I said, you'll never want for anything in life. I was 21 years old, I'm 34 now. And when I called her 8 years later and I said, Mama, you ready to go to Paris? She's like, what, Paris, Texas? I said, no, Mama, we're going to Paris, France, let's go. She's like, I don't have a passport. Mama, you good, I got you, I told you. Once you gave me that $20, I'm gonna flip that and tumble that, right? And we've turned that into a whole lot more 20s, right? But that's because of the sacrifices that we're willing to make. So when all around you are quitting, as they sometimes do, when your critics are many and your friends are few, when obstacles confront you at every turn, remember the lesson that winners learn. See, to stop and quit, you will never win until you decide to try it again. When life's little hurdles slow you down, just steady your pace and hold your ground. Hold fast to your dreams as they can come true when you believe in doing the best that you can possibly do. See, to win, you must believe that you will not fail. Perseverance is the breeze that fills your sail. And although the unexpected may rock your boat, listen, if you ain't lived long enough, although the unexpected will rock your boat, winners weather the storm remaining afloat. Conceive it, believe it, and know that you can and continue step by step according to plan. Come on, stand up, guys. Hey, stand up and be counted so that the world can see that you believe in becoming the best that you can possibly be. Accept the challenges of life, and you will continue to find that winning is a spirit of living. It's merely a state of mind. Now repeat after me. I'm proud of where I come from. I'm proud of who I am. But most of all, I am absolutely ecstatic about who I am going to be. Now, when I say 3, we're going to scream out greatness, here we come, and we're going to get this conference, kicking it. Just like Randy Jackson on Coming to America. Hey, on 3, greatness, here we come. I heard y'all chanting, so I know you got it in you. Let's get this thing popping, all right? 1, 2, 3, greatness, here we come! Let's go get it!